Welcome to Rugby Nats TV. To be perfectly honest, I've been absolutely buzzing to do this show for the past few weeks. Every week I get the opportunity to ask people where their rugby story began. Well, for me, this is where I fell in love with the sport. My rugby journey began right here at Windsor RFC. So it's a real honour for me to come back to home park and showcase the club. Plus, this just so happens to be our very first women's rugby show. Before we get started, here's some key facts on the women's game. The Windsor Dames, where do we begin? The Dames just keep growing and going from strength to strength every season. They're currently in their 4th season, and within that short space of time, they've managed to gain an impressive promotion, win the National Junior Plate, and have 67 registered players, which isn't too bad for a mixed team of experienced players and complete novices. But the best part of it all for me is that the Dames have managed to achieve all of this, and they were only founded 3 years ago via Facebook of all places. But just before we jump into the show and catch up with some of the Dames and find out how their season's going so far, here's some key facts on the side. Right, let's jump into the club, catch up with some of the Windsor Dames. How do people react when you turn up to your day job, if you have a black eye or stub marks all over and you tell them you play rugby?
Well, at first, I got a lot of questions. Everyone was like, "Oh, how did you get that bruise?" So I just said, "Oh yeah, I play rugby on a Sunday." And at first they were quite shocked and they were like, "Oh, like really intrigued." But now, like everyone always asks every time I come in the office on a Monday, they're always asking how the match went and stuff. So yeah, everyone's really interested in it. Yeah.
Let's talk about the season. You currently sit mid-table, 2 wins from 5.
Yeah.
Tell us about the season so far and some of those losses. I know it was very narrow defeats.
Yeah. So obviously we started off quite slowly. The teams we did lose to are like at the top of the league, so we can't like fault ourselves too much, considering like most of them were quite close. But since then, like we've got 2 wins under our belts. We're really coming on.
What advice would you give to any women or young girls who are thinking about playing the game? What would you say to them?
Even if you're a bit worried, even if you think it's too rough, just pick up the ball, have a go, and you won't regret it. You won't look back like me. Yeah,
Sophie,
cool.
Absolute pleasure.
You too.
Best of luck for the weekend.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Have you seen a change in the club since introducing a ladies' side?
Oh yeah. This is the second attempt. Second attempt to have a ladies' side. There was one attempt where it was male-driven. Where the club tried to set up a ladies' side, but it was more male-driven to get a ladies' side. And then in 2013, one of the girls, Kelly Ramsey, she come to us and said that we want to get a ladies' side going. And it brought. We said, yeah, we'll assist. We'll help with the coaching, and it was a breath of fresh air. They're still going now.
How many hours do you put in per week, and why do you do it?
Recently it's not as much as it used to be. I'll probably put about 20-26 hours a week in down here. Probably 3 days a week training, and then match day Saturday and match day Sunday. And why? Because I love the game. I love the game, and I've always loved the game. And I love coaching the game. I love trying to pass on my knowledge to other people.
Best moment in your club shirt?
Winning the plate last year. First game, coming out, Dames huddle with Neil and pre-match chat.
Winning the National Junior Cup final last year.
2013, leading the side out here for the first women's game in 25 years.
Any strange superstitions?
Yes, I have to wear the same boots all the time and they're falling apart. I do everything in 3s.
2 bottles of Lucozade before the match.
Yes, same breakfast every Sunday.
Toughest ground to play in the league?
Cheltenham. Crowthorne, it's very bumpy.
Oh, Sutton and Epsom.
Crowthorne.
hardest hitter?
Barney, probably. Caroline Robinson.
Barney.
Barney.
Who'd be the worst person to share a room with?
Any of the front row because they all smell.
Dunno.
Kate, she snores.
Kate for her snoring. Horrendous.
We are back at home park to watch the Windsor Dames take on Rosslyn Park Slingbacks for the very first time. In my opinion, the Slingbacks come to home park as the favourites for the day. They've just come down from the league above and they've only lost one game so far this season. But the Dames, they look extremely focused on Wednesday night and they were tirelessly working on their tackling and breakdown game in preparation for today's opponents. Sophie Barnett, the Dames skipper, she said they've learnt a hell of a lot from their recent defeats and they would give any team in this league a run for their money. Let's find out if the Dames are up for the challenge. Have you seen a change in the club since introducing a women's team?
Massively, massively. The touchline just tells you that they always have good support. The girls come and watch the men come and watch the girls, and they've integrated so well into the club. Case in point was probably the World Cup. They got given a small budget and got asked to run a night during the World Cup, and it was a massive success. We had about 300 or 400 people down here, and they did all the publicity themselves. It was a barn dance, with the line caller and all that sort of stuff. But no, they really have integrated seamlessly and are an integral part of the club without a shadow of a doubt.
Finally, I'm sure there's a lot of clubs that'll be out here watching this and thinking, we'd love to have a women's side. How do we go about setting one up? Is it expensive? Can you just spare any advice for those who might be thinking about setting a women's team up?
It wouldn't have started if it wasn't for social media. And the whole concept of social media frightens me. But Kelly at the beginning and Kate now and some of the others, it's the way they work and they communicate with social media. So my advice would be to embrace social media, because it didn't get off the ground by adverts in the paper or some weary little article on our homepage. It only happened because of Twitter and Facebook. So get a strategy together like they had, and go out there and shamelessly self-publicise, because the Dames are case in point, it worked.
You take on Rosslyn Park Slingbacks today, which is the first time these two teams have met. How have you helped prepare the Dames going into the unknown?
I think if we stick to our basics, our plans, as long as we stick to our structure and don't worry about them. I mean, I treat every game as an unknown really, and it is for me, especially being a new coach with these. Just treat every game like it's unknown, and we go into it with sticking to our basics and our structure. Happy days, we'll win.
What advice would you give to any women or young girls that are thinking about playing the game?
Oh, just get out there and give it a go. There's teams, obviously they're trying to create younger age groups for girls, and just get out there and give it a go. It's so much more than what you actually think it is.
Let's go out there, let's play for our pitch, let's play for our castle, let's play as a team, yeah?
Yeah.
On three. Yeah, get as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3,
Dames! Go!
What does this Windsor Dames side mean to you?
It's friendly, everyone's loyal, you can come down whether you're a beginner or you've been playing rugby forever and feel part of a team straight away.
What does grassroots rugby mean to you?
It's a good way to learn a lot of the basics that will take you through life. Good work ethic, getting on with people, learning how to deal with aggression, learning how to deal with conflict. It's everything really. It's a way of life.
What does Windsor Rugby Club mean to you?
A hell of a lot. You might want to ask the wife about that one actually. I'm here probably more often than I'm at home, in fairness. And she won't be seeing this film, will she? Please God.
Norm, before we talk about the game, why the Slingbacks? Where's that come from?
So this is our 20th anniversary season, and when the girls first formed the team all that time ago, there weren't that many women's teams around, and they thought it was kind of a funny play on words between the Springboks and a women's shoe, and the name just stuck and it stayed with us ever since.
Tough day at the office. Where do you think that game was lost?
I think we've got quite a young, quite an inexperienced side, so we're quite new to playing together. I think that showed in the early part of the game in terms of our defence. So we weren't quite going low enough in our tackles. We weren't quite getting up in people's faces enough. So I think our defence let us down a little bit. But what I think was great about the way the Slingbacks played today is that they kept going and they kept learning. And I think you could see that progression throughout the game, getting better and better. And I think that's what we'll see more of from us this season.
Sherelle, I thought you were outstanding today, so well played. A massive victory. You must be pleased with that.
Very pleased. It's always good to come out at home and get such a big home win in front of the crowd as well. The forwards are really good. The backs hands were very impressive. And well done, unlucky to Rosslyn Park, but yeah, we were just a little bit better today.
Next outing, massive local derby against Crowthorne Ladies. What are you expecting from them, and how will you prepare for them?
Well, it'll be a really tough game, obviously, at Crowthorne, but we'll go away and train in, we'll look at the videos from today's game, we'll make a few adjustments, but if we play like we did today for the rest of the season, no worries.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Well played. Thank you, well played. That's it for this week. A massive thank you to everyone at Windsor Dames. Their Rugby Nats Crossbar Challenge will be out on Wednesday at 11 a.m, so please do keep a lookout for that. Next show, we're off to National 3 New Boys Guildford, where they'll be taking on an informed Westcombe Park side. Please remember to follow the Rugby Nats journey as we help to promote grassroots rugby across the country. Subscribe, follow us, like us at Rugby Nats UK. Until next time.